One of the most precious and valuable commodities on the tennis court is time. I'm sure you've played a match or even during training where everything felt late. And that's one of the worst feelings you can have on the tennis court because it's so hard to then self-correct whatever is going wrong. Now there are a few ways for you to actually buy yourself time and create that time, and this will help you to actually make contact out in front and in that sweet spot. Now the first thing and the most important one is the swing size. So even if you're preparing on time, even if you feel like you're seeing which side the ball's coming to and you're getting in the right position, but your swing is too big, if you have a massive loop and you're playing especially on a faster court, you're always going to be rushed because of your big backswing. And one of the things that the pros do so well is they adapt their backswing to the oncoming ball. So they don't just use one swing time and time again, because every single ball that comes at them is slightly different. There's different spins, there's different speeds. And it's important that we adapt to that oncoming ball with our backswing. So I don't want to use the same backswing on every single ball because yes, sometimes I'll be able to find that perfect contact point out in front, but other times when the opponent hits the ball slightly harder, I'll be rushed and I'll hit the ball on side of me. So in order to adapt, I have to try to use 3 different types of swings. One is when I have time. This will be my full backswing, my full loop. The second one is when I'm slightly more rushed, but I still have enough time to actually have a proper loop. It won't be as big as the first one, but it will be almost like 30% shorter. And the last one will be when I'm extremely rushed, when the opponent is attacking me, they're going for the winning shot, and I'm just trying to get the ball back in court. So if my big swing is up here and my medium swing is somewhere down here, the very short one will be even smaller. It can still have a loop, I can still prepare just as I do on that big one, but on a much smaller scale, that smaller circle. So if we imagine a big circle here, a medium circle here, and a tiny circle here. If you watch the pros, this is one of the things that they do so well, especially players like Djokovic and Federer. They adapt their backswing to the oncoming ball. And the second way that we can create time for ourselves on the tennis court is to make sure that we're tracking the ball and then preparing early. Now it all starts with seeing the ball come off your opponent's strings. So wherever they're hitting the ball, if they're hitting it to your forehand side, to your backhand side, or as a drop shot, you have to identify that as early as possible, and that will then give you the chance to have the early preparation. So it's all about picking up off the opponent's strings. Where is the ball going? Is it coming to my forehand or is it coming to my backhand? We can see that very quickly in the first few feet as the ball's traveling off the opponent's racket. What you won't be able to see as quickly is the length of the shot or the depth. That will come a little bit later, but we can already be preparing. So if it's coming to my forehand side, I've already coiled my upper body. If it's coming to my backhand side, I've coiled my upper body. And that way I'm actually preparing with the racket as I start my movement towards the right side of the court. Now once I identify if the ball's coming short or deep, I can then start moving sideways along with forward and backward. But the first step is seeing, okay, it's coming to my forehand or it's coming to my backhand. And I want to see this as quickly as possible, and that will be one of the most valuable ways that I can actually create time on the tennis court. And another thing that will really help you with time is to understand where is your ideal contact point. And this will differ for the types of balls you're hitting, the surface you're playing on, the opponent you're playing. But in general, we want to make contact out in front. It doesn't matter what stroke it is. It could be on your volleys, it could be on the smash, it could be on the serve, it can be on your forehand. You want to make contact out in front. And on the backhand, double, single, or slice. So we always want to make contact out in front regardless of our swing. Some players prefer hitting the ball around waist height, some players prefer hitting it around shoulder height. So understanding what works for your game will be a massive help for you in identifying where is your ideal contact point. And this will change depending on your forehand and your backhand. I know for myself, on my forehand, I like to make contact around mid-waist height, even chest height, and far in front, so that I can actually see that ball hitting my strings or see it rising to my strings. On the backhand side, I like to make contact out in front, but slightly closer, so I have that ability to extend my left hand as I actually hit through that contact zone. Once again, experiment and test it out. See where you actually prefer making contact. Waist height, knee height, shoulder height, even head level. Also test out where in comparison to the body. So really far in front or slightly closer to the body. All of these things will help you now to create more time on the court and hopefully help you to feel like a much better tennis player. If you've enjoyed this lesson, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and turn on that notification bell. Signing off, Coach Simon from TTT. All the best and see you soon, guys.